Well, hello and welcome back to CryptoToro. On today's video. Let's take a quick look. Just a second, please. And this will go this way. Private, and it will be, let's see. Hello and welcome back to CryptoToro. On today's video I'm going to talk about cryptocurrencies, but especially I would like to talk about Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is looking at right now and how it's currently performing. But before starting my live stream, I would like to talk about just this article in particular. This is an article on Cointelegraph, as you can see, and this is an article about, most importantly, about crypto as an overall space. So let's take a look at this very interesting article, and it's about crypto. Crypto and blockchain investments have already doubled 2020's KPMG report. So for the people who are not aware what KPMG is an investing firm. They are part of the big four investing firms in the world. You might know them as well. You might know EY or something similar to them, but KPMG is something very important. They are an investing firm. They just give all type of information to people who would like to invest real large amounts of money into any type of market, the commodity market, and also right now they're also interested in giving their opinion on the cryptocurrency space. So what I wanted to show you is something I think is very interesting, and that's this article over here. So investors now have a better understanding not only about crypto assets, but also the operational and procedural side of crypto, a new report states. What I think is very interesting is this part actually over here, and that's why I would like to read this out loud for you. So crypto and blockchain investments continue to grow thanks to ever-rising investor interest, according to the report from Big Four accounting firm KPMG, titled Pulse of Fintech H1 2021. The study covers global investment activities in different financial technology verticals for the first half of the year, and detailed 2,456 investment deals worth $98 billion made between January and June. One of the top fintech trends for 2021 is the explosive growth in the crypto and blockchain investment, the report reads. The first 6 months of 2021 saw 548 investment activities, including venture capitals, private equities, and mergers and acquisitions in the blockchain and cryptocurrency sector. The total value of investment during the first half of the year is $8.7 billion, already doubling the total value of 580 investment deals made during 2020, worth $4.3 billion. What I think is very important about this is what we're seeing over here, just on this small paragraph, is that we already doubled and surpassed 2020 as an entire year where there were only 580 investments made, and right now with fewer investment we already surpassed the amount that has been invested in the cryptocurrency space. And I think that, and things that have to do with cryptocurrencies, it could be also just a merge or an acquisition of a cryptocurrency, for example, platform where you can trade and exchange or anything else. So let's take a look a little bit further. Companies that raise more than 100 million in funding rounds, including BlockFi, Paxos, Blockchain.com, and Bitso, led the growth in investment volume. Cryptocurrency and blockchain are exploding globally, said KPMG global fintech co-leader Andrew Rudo, adding, "There's so much happening in this space right now, between the ECNY project running in China, Facebook's Deem, a number of ecosystem initiatives, not to mention all the different trading platforms raising money. Digital currencies and virtual assets are a big topic of conversation. I think for the rest of the year, at least, crypto will be very hot ticket for investors. So if you would like to read even more about this article, do not hesitate to go to Cointelegraph and read this. It was just uploaded a few hours ago, and I think it's very interesting to see what actually occurred during this first quarter of the year in terms of investments. So let's take a look at Bitcoin on the chart, and what we are currently seeing is actually the daily chart on the Bitcoin price action. And what I think is very important and what I would like to show you for sure is actually the price action of the past few days. So what we have seen during the past weeks is actually a 58.5% pump towards the upside, and I think this is of utmost importance to realize that this has been a major uptrend, a major run up for Bitcoin for sure, and that this 58% move towards the upside is not something you would like to take for granted. This is for sure Bitcoin showing that it is getting ready to blow up and see a major spike towards the upside getting created. Maybe not right now, but for sure in the near future. So I would like to start by actually showing you the bull market support band. And the bull market support band is something I talked about in my previous videos or live streams when I was talking about Bitcoin, and what I think is very, very interesting to look at. You can see over here that we were at this time actually breaking down below the bull market support band that's actually supported Bitcoin for quite a while, or well, where Bitcoin traded above for quite a while before we saw this breakthrough towards the downside. And what I think is of utmost importance is that we actually were able to break above the bull market support band. Over here you could see that we were above the 20-day moving average, the 20-week moving average, and the 20-week SMA, and right now we are above the 20-week SMA. And what I think is for sure very important about this is that we are currently maybe retesting this 20-week SMA level of the bull market support band and finding support on top of it. So for sure I think this red line, what you're seeing over here, will be serving as a major level of support for people who are wondering why I think this would happen. Is something in particular you could see. Maybe if we take a look at the past price action of Bitcoin, I think it's very interesting to see that Bitcoin always was able to actually find support on top of the bull market support band quite a few times, as you could see over here on the period of September, from August, or well, actually September 2020 until late October begin October 2020, Bitcoin was finding support on top of the bull market support band. And also once it broke below the bull market support, once it broke once again above the bull market support band. So firstly it broke below the bull market support band on the 7th of March of 2020, and afterwards on the 27th of April it broke above the bull market support band. We all know what this actually what happened over here. This was for sure the pandemic that actually brought this major dip on Bitcoin, and why Bitcoin wasn't able to actually find support on top of this bull market support band. But afterwards, once it broke above it, you could see that before we were heading towards this parabolic move towards the upside on Bitcoin was quite a while trading above the bull market support band, and I think that is something of major importance. So right now we are currently seeing once again Bitcoin being able to break through the bull market support band, trading above it actually right now, and perhaps even finding support on top of it. And what I think is of utmost importance is actually that we will see a crossover once again occur. Once we see a crossover occur on the bull market support band, sorry for that, I think for sure we will be seeing a major move on the Bitcoin price action towards the upside, creating a candle you do not want to miss out on, and where I'm personally just waiting for to actually enter a trade that could possibly lead us to major highs. So what are we currently seeing as well on the Bitcoin chart? That is just except of this, let's take a look at, for example, this over here, where I've drawn a few lines of support and resistance. What you could see over here as well is this major levels of support and resistance. I call them the orange boxes. I have an orange box of support over here, an orange box of resistance at near to prior all-time highs, and also the $42,898 level that I always thought would be a major level of resistance, and where we were able to break above just a couple of days ago. So I think that is for sure something very important, and I think you might have noticed as well right now on the Bitcoin, on the Binance chart, you could see that we had 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, you could say 10 consecutive candles, to green candles in a row. This doji candle, red doji candle on Binance, is actually red, so you could say there were only 8 consecutive green candles in a row. But if you take a look at, for example, other charts, you could see that there are 10 consecutive candles in a row. For example, on the Bybit chart, you could see that this doji candle is actually green, so you could see that we had a 10 candle run up, and that is for sure something very interesting and very important, because the last time that this happened, if you take a look at past data, you could see that Bitcoin was preparing itself to go really parabolically towards the upside. So for sure something very interesting to take a look at. And what we are currently seeing right now is actually the Bitcoin price action over here. So I will be disabling the bull market support band, and I will take a look at the moving averages. What we are seeing over here on the moving averages is, I think, something, of course, very similar and very important. Not similar in data, but I think similar in what it could possibly occur once we see a crossover on the moving averages. Because if we see a crossover once again, once the green thin line that you're seeing over here crosses over the red and the yellow line and stays on top of those, we will actually see the 50-day moving average once again serving as the first level of support for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And that for sure will mean to me that we will be ready to see a major run towards the upside getting created. So that is something I think in particular is very, very important. And if you take a look at prior data, let's start by taking a look over here. Once we saw Bitcoin breaking down below the moving averages, we saw actually that over here we saw the crossover of the 50-day moving average dumping firstly below the 100-day moving average, and afterwards below the 200-day moving average. And after this long period of accumulation at this zone, approximately around $30,000 and $33,000, it was able to eventually break out above this moving averages. And right now, as you could see over here, the 200 and 100-day moving averages served as a major level of support once we broke above them, and currently they will serve once again as a major level of support. That's of course my personal opinion. Once we see Bitcoin's price action towards the downside, heading towards the downside once again, I'm not saying that this will occur, but if this occurs, I think this will for sure mean that we will be seeing a major level of support at that certain level. So that is something I think is very important. But as I told you before, what I wanted to take a look at is actually over here, the Bitcoin price action once we see a crossover. Unfortunately, it's not loading as I personally want it, but over here you can see it perfectly. We saw on the 20th of March a breakout towards the downside. We saw the thin green line, the 50-day moving average, breaking below the 200 and 100-day moving average, and after this major run up towards the upside, we were able to find support on top all three moving averages. And once this occurred, after we were able to find support on top of them, not only for several times over here, but also many times at this breakout towards the downside as well, we saw that major run up of Bitcoin towards the upside. And I think for sure once we see the crossover once again occur at this particular part, where we're currently trading at, I think for sure the moving average will serve as major levels of support, but also will be able to give you a clear view where you can be expecting levels of support for Bitcoin for the upcoming weeks. So that is something I think for sure is very, very interesting. And for the people who are watching, do not forget that if you would like me to take a look at, for example, let's say BNB or another type of cryptocurrency, do not forget to mention that in the chat below, and I will take a look at that cryptocurrency as well. But for now, I would like to go towards the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin, and I would like to show you something I spotted just a few minutes ago, and I think is very, very interesting. I'm very sorry for that, excuse me. And let's take a look over here. So I will be enabling the RSI to take a look if we are spotting any type of bullish or bearish divergence, and what you can automatically see is actually that we right over here are seeing a higher low getting created, and on the RSI we are seeing a lower low getting created, and this particular phenomenon is called a hidden bullish divergence. And this is for sure, I think, something very interesting for the upcoming hours for the Bitcoin price action, because I think this will for sure mean that we might be able to find support on top of prior resistance, as you could see, and that resistance level is a level that I would like to draw for you as well. By placing this horizontal line just on top of this candle, you could see that at this part in time, I will be making it wide as well, we found support before we were able to break above it, and right now I have seen already once getting supported by that level. So I think that is something of major importance, and right over here we are right now trading on top of that level of support, and I think that is for sure something really, really interesting to take a look at for the upcoming hours for the Bitcoin's price action. And as well, this bullish divergence that we are seeing is something you do not want to forget to take into consideration if you are right now opening a trade on Bitcoin and you are thinking a long position is right now a perfect right now is the perfect opportunity to open a long position. That is actually what I meant. But just to make sure all of you are actually placing a trade as good as possible, I will be removing the RSI and I will be showing you something I think is very important to take a look at. So if you give me 1 second, over here we have the parallel channel, a tool I really like to use a lot while I'm trading, and what I think we are seeing over here is a ascending parallel channel. You could place it like this. This is, I think, the correct way to place it, from the lower low towards the first touch point on the chart, and you actually have 2 touch points over there. So this is a confirmed ascending parallel channel. You have already 3 touch points on the upward sloping support line, and as well you have already several touch points, actually 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points on this ascending resistance line. So I think that is for sure something very interesting to take a look at. And if we take a look a little bit more closely, you will be able to see that right now we are not just currently trading at this part over here, but Bitcoin is struggling to actually maintain and find support on top of this level at $45,495. So what I'm trying to say over here is that I personally think right now we saw the bullish divergence on the RSI, but I think personally there will be a potential that Bitcoin will be breaking out towards the downside right now. And that is also especially my opinion because I took a look at the MACD, and the MACD is for sure a momentum indicator, and this momentum indicator did not show us any type of crossover at this point in time. Just approximately, let's take a look at 20 hours ago, when we, or 24 hours ago, when we actually could have seen a crossover on the MACD creating a momentum towards the upside. Unfortunately, this did not occur, and right now we are currently seeing just the downward momentum actually just proceeding, and I think that is for sure something you would like to take into consideration right now, because that would mean to me that Bitcoin is actually heading towards the downside and is not right now really going to hold strong on top of previous resistance, and we might perhaps see Bitcoin heading all the way down towards, I think personally, that is a level that might be a stronghold for Bitcoin for the upcoming days, and that is this level over here at $43,977. And why I think this level is very important to me is because that was a major level of support. Once we saw this major uptrend on the Bitcoin chart, we saw that we were supported for 1, 2, 3, 4 candles were supported at this level over here, and as well afterwards, after we retested this level of resistance at $45,495, we went back down and we were supported once again 3 times before we saw this major pump breaking above that previous level of resistance, where we are currently finding support on top. So if we do not find support on top of the level where we're currently trading at, I think for sure we will be heading towards this level over here. And I think that level will be actually holding strong, especially because the bullish divergence does have significance at this moment, and will still have significance if we see a breakout towards the downside occurring in the next upcoming, let's say, 15 hours. After that, you will have to take a look once again at the chart, and if we are able to spot a bullish or bearish divergence on the RSI, and also what the MACD is telling us. But let's enable as well the EMA ribbon to take a look at what the EMA ribbon is actually showing us on the Bitcoin chart. So what you are seeing over here is, I think, something very interesting and very important as well, and that is that we are seeing that Bitcoin got supported by the EMA ribbon previously on the 8th of August, while we saw that retest of the, once we saw the test of this very important, crucial level of resistance that is currently serving as support. Afterwards, we were rejected by this level, and we were actually not just supported by this $43,997 level, but we were also supported by the EMA ribbon. And what I think is very important about this is that right now we are currently seeing that the EMA ribbon is supporting Bitcoin once again. So this is an indicator that is telling me for sure that we could probably see Bitcoin being able to actually find support at these key levels at $45,495, $45,495, sorry for that. But I personally think, unfortunately, Bitcoin won't be able to hold strong at this level, and I'm not being bearish at this moment, because don't actually think I'm bearish right now on Bitcoin. I'm just saying that it is, for me, more likely to occur that Bitcoin will be heading towards the $43,977 instead of getting even further up towards the upside, maybe heading towards a retest of this level over here at $47,202. So I think this is very interesting to take a look at. And if we take a look at the parallel channel, the ascending parallel channel, I think that is for sure something you would like to analyze a little bit more closely, because you saw that over here we broke below the EMA ribbon, and that is something I think for sure is very interesting, because we were supported at that part by this ascending support line. And if we right now break once again below the EMA ribbon, we might be heading not only towards this level over here at $43,977, but perhaps we might break even further down below the EMA ribbon, heading towards a retest of this ascending support of this ascending parallel channel. And I think that is for sure a major entry point for Bitcoin. Once you see this ascending support line actually being retested, that's for sure the moment when I will be entering a long position, because I think personally that Bitcoin will be able to hold strong on top of this level, and actually break out towards the upside. And why I think personally that this will occur is also has also something to do with, oh, I'm sorry for that, to do with this over here. You could see that on the daily time frame we actually did not break below the EMA ribbon. The EMA ribbon was actually serving as a level of support for the very first time after we were able to break above it. So I think that is for sure you would like to take into consideration that the EMA ribbon is actually serving as a major level of support at this point in time on the 3rd of August, and I think that will for sure mean that we will possibly head towards this level over here at $42,655 and find support once again by the EMA ribbon. And if you took a close look previously, you could see that also the moving averages will be serving as a major level of support. Right now they're currently, yes, they're trading a little bit further below the ascending support, but I think if it takes just a couple of hours, we will see actually the 50-day moving average heading back up. And I think once the 50-day moving average is heading back up, that will for sure serve as a major level of support as well, at the same place where this ascending support line is serving as a level of support. So for sure, very interesting to take a look at the Bitcoin price action right now and how it's currently performing. So something else I wanted to talk about is actually something very interesting, and that is actually the stock to flow ratio. So the stock to flow, I know I've talked about this before, and I think it is something a lot of people already know about Bitcoin. It's Plan B actually posts a lot about this. He actually was the creator as well of the stock to flow model, and what I've also seen is a video of him actually being a guest on Benjamin Cowen's channel, and I wanted to actually give this a video a like, and I wanted to show you guys that this video is actually very worth to watch. It's actually 1 hour and 31 minutes. I've already watched this video. It's all about the stock to flow ratio, and Plan B is actually right there to discuss this together with Benjamin Cowen. I think it's very, very interesting to take a look at. If you take a look at the stock to flow model, what you're seeing is that we are currently let's say for example, we are right now in August, and if we take out this part over here, unfortunately it's just by year, so it's quite difficult to measure like which month you are currently at this picture on his Twitter. But what you can see is that at the end of 2021 and the first quarter of 2022, you will be at this point over here where my cursor is currently at, and that is at a price of 100,000 US dollar for Bitcoin. And I think that is something absolutely marvelous, and I think something you do not want to miss out on. So if we take a look at the current price of Bitcoin, that would mean that you will have a more than 50% gain on your investment currently right now. So don't forget that if you are investing right now in Bitcoin, it is very probable that you did not miss the train, and you do not want to be that person who is actually investing in Bitcoin when Bitcoin is once again above the 60k. And still, I think 60k is not the key level of that will be the top once again. I don't think we will be rejected once again once we break above the $61,000 or $65,000 where the previous all-time high is at approximately. But I think if you would like to accumulate Bitcoin, you do not want to do it in a couple of months. You would like to do it right now, and especially if we take a look at this stock to flow model, and if you take a look as well at this very interesting video of Benjamin Cowen together with Plan B, I think for sure you would like to consider buying Bitcoin and accumulating even more Bitcoin if you have already purchased Bitcoin in the past. And of course, for the people who are trading these type of moves, so as do I would like to say, don't forget to actually be there all the way up to be able to trade all those long and short positions once you see the key levels and the technical analysis telling you that Bitcoin might be heading towards the downside. Do not forget to also place a short and to earn all the way, either way the market is moving. Just take a look and take your advantage by just using the trading strategy that is best for you. But if you would like to trade, do not forget to use the links down below in the description. You will be supporting the channel by doing so, and I will highly appreciate that. And also, you will be earning a deposit bonus if you sign up with the links down below. So that is something very interesting to take a look at. As well, if you would like to join our Discord server, that would be highly appreciated. The Discord server looks something similar to this, and you can also see that I posted a video just a few minutes ago, and you will be also actually up to date about all my tweets on Twitter. So I think for sure something very interesting to take a look at. If the people who are currently watching would like me to take a look at, for example, Binance Coin or Litecoin, or let's say Dogecoin as well, don't forget to place that in the comment section, and I will be for sure taking a look at the price at the price analysis of that particular coin. Lastly, I wanted to take a look at the SOPR, and what is the SOPR actually telling us during the past couple of months. So you could see over here, this is December 2020, and you could see that the thin gray line that I'm showing you here with my cursor is actually the Bitcoin price in US dollar. And as well over here, hello sir, Crypto Rover, I highly appreciate you being here as well. And I think what is very important to take a look at is that actually right now you could see just a couple of months ago, once we saw that flash crash of Bitcoin, the SOPR dropped below the one line, and that is very important for me because these are major opportunities to buy Bitcoin at very cheap prices. As well here, for example, on the 25th of June, it was a major buying opportunity. As you can see as well, it was a major dip on the Bitcoin's price action. Of course, right over here when Bitcoin dropped below the 30k to $29,000, that was for sure the best buying opportunity of 2021 for sure. But if you don't take that one into consideration, I think this SOPR moment when it went far below the one line was a major moment to buy and accumulate Bitcoin. And what is the SOPR actually telling us at this point in time? You were actually seeing that a lot of people were actually selling their Bitcoin in a loss. So that is for sure something I think very, very interesting. And as well, right now we are seeing that the SOPR is heading back up, and it's actually a few times spiked above the one, and that is telling us that people are selling their Bitcoin in a profit. So that is for sure very interesting. So once again, thank you very much for watching the live stream, everyone. And if you would like me to take a look at, for example, I've talked about Bitcoin a lot, but if you would like to give me my personal opinion on Bitcoin, don't forget to actually ask me that down below in the description and in the chat as well. And Crypto Rover also is here, so that is very, very nice to see. And also Melvin Koopmans, once again, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate you being here. And if you like the live stream so far, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So I was talking about Bitcoin, and due to the fact that there are many viewers right now currently down below, I would like to take a look at Bitcoin once again, just especially for all of you, and take a look at what we are currently seeing. And I will be starting by showing you the bull market support band on the daily time frame. And what I think is very interesting is that we actually broke above the 20-week SMA and as well above the 20-week moving average over here. And I think this is very important because the bull market support band, for sure, once we see a crossover of the thin green line getting crossed by above the red line over here, I think for sure we will be seeing a major move of Bitcoin towards the upside, even greater than what we have seen already during the past 2 weeks. And as I talked before as well, you could see that over here we were seeing a 58.5% move towards the upside, and that is something I think is of utmost importance to take into consideration, that Bitcoin has been performing very well lately, and that is also why I had this drawing over here. So I will be removing the bull market support band, and I will be heading towards the Bitcoin price action on the 4-hourly time frame. And I would like to show you this in particular, and that is what I showed you before as well during this live stream. And it is actually this ascending parallel channel that we're seeing on the Bitcoin price action. And yes, this channel for me personally is a channel that actually is right now a pattern that you can actually trade, especially because we have seen already 3 touch points on the upward sloping support line, and as well we have seen many touch points on the ascending resistance. So that is for sure very important. And if we take a look at this over here, we are seeing that Bitcoin is currently right now trading on top of previous resistance at approximately $45,495. Sorry for that. And I think that is something of utmost importance. Also, I wanted to show you that on the 4-hourly time frame we have seen something I think very important, and that is actually that we are seeing a very interesting bullish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame. And I will draw the line for you just so you could take a look at this as well. You can see over here we created a higher low on the chart, and we are creating a lower low on the RSI, and that is for sure a hidden bullish divergence. That is something I wanted to discuss, because I personally think that this bullish divergence does not have a lot of significance right now, because we will be seeing the price action of Bitcoin actually heading towards the downside instead of towards the upside. But that is for sure something a lot of people were talking about this bullish divergence. I saw that as well online, and I think this is very important to just take a look at the bullish divergence and see that the price action of Bitcoin is actually not heading towards the upside for the upcoming days. So let's take a look at the MACD, and the MACD is actually showing us something I think is very interesting and more important currently, is that we did not see a crossover on the MACD, and we are seeing that the current momentum towards the downside on the MACD is actually not ending anytime soon. We are not seeing a crossover right now. So my personal opinion is that we will for sure be heading even further down, and what I think will be occurring is, I think, something very important, and that is that we will be retesting once again the ascending support line of this ascending parallel channel. And where will be that touch point of this ascending channel? For sure, I think the MACD is actually showing us the exact and perfect spot where we will be able to accumulate more Bitcoin and start a long position, for example. So you could see over here, once we were able to break above the EMA ribbon for the very first time after we saw a major downtrend occurring and Bitcoin trying to break above Bitcoin but getting rejected every time it tried to. Once Bitcoin broke above it, we saw that Bitcoin was able to find support on top of the EMA ribbon, and that's actually as well the first 2 touch points on this ascending support. And for sure, if we are heading back down right here on the daily candles, I think for sure the EMA ribbon will be serving once again as a major level of support, right as you can see on top of this ascending support. So that is for sure something I think will be occurring in the next 24 hours. And what I personally think is a major level of accumulation is this over here, and that's the 42,900 or $43,000 level, where we will be touching the upward sloping support line. And that is for sure a level where I personally will be accumulating Bitcoin once again and will be able to place a long position. So that is for sure, I think, something very interesting. And what type of move are we going to see right now towards the downside? And I'm just measuring this to take a look at what this look is possibly going to look like, because I know if you are seeing Crypto Rover, and I know lots of you are watching his channel, you are in a short position right now. So do I, and we are still 8% to go towards the downside, and that is something I think really amazes me to see that retested, not just of this ascending support and also of the EMA ribbon, but that we have still 8% to go towards the downside on the short position. And afterwards, I think it will be a very important place over here to be able to actually start a long position and start a trade that will be heading towards the upside. And how will this look like? Well, for sure you could be saying, if we get supported by this ascending support, I personally think that we will be seeing a major pump towards the upside, heading towards perhaps the ascending resistance of this parallel channel and getting retested. And I think that will be for sure what we will see after we get supported by not just this ascending support, but as well by the EMA ribbon. And that major move is something that will be, for example, looking like this. Let's say we just go all the way to here on the 16th of August. I think that is actually quite near. So let's say we are not going to select the 16th of August, but we are going to select the 19th. Yes, the 19th of August. So let's say tomorrow, or perhaps on Saturday, we are going to see Bitcoin retest this upward sloping support and as well the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame. And afterwards, I think we will for sure see a major move of 24% heading towards the upside and a retest of this ascending resistance. So that is something very interesting to take a look at. And as I told you before, if you take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, we are right now getting supported by the EMA ribbon. I think that for sure is something that won't last for quite a while. I think we will be seeing Bitcoin breaking below this EMA ribbon currently, and yeah, we will see something similar to what happened previously, approximately around the 3rd of August, when Bitcoin was able to find support on top of the daily EMA ribbon, broke below the 4-hourly EMA ribbon, tried to break above it, and afterwards, when we saw this small W structure, it broke above it, found support on top of it once again, before right now retesting the EMA ribbon. So I think it is very interesting to take a look at this. So hello, and guys, once again, I wanted to ask people, I already discussed Bitcoin actually before during this live stream, but if you would like me to take a look at, for example, Litecoin, or for example Dogecoin or Binance Coin, don't hesitate to place that in the comment section, and I would love to take a look at it for sure. So perhaps other people are also watching and would like me to discuss Ethereum, for example. That is something I will like to do right now. And yeah, opening a short, as I'm reading the comments as well, I see that we saw that a lot of people opened a short at the 46k level, and I think, for example, that level for sure was a level where I personally do agree that you should have opened a short for sure. Currently, I think opening a short at this level is not the most great thing to do, and why I personally think that is because I think the gains that you wanted to take at the beginning of this drop, that is already approximately around 4 to 5%, is actually already the half of the short position. So if we are heading all the way down towards the retest of this upward sloping support line, it will be approximately 9% move, and that means that you are already right now 50% down. So right now opening a short might be good to do, but I personally do not actually think that you should do it. I think you should have opened the short on 46k level, and I think you don't want to be in a trade position always. You would like to re-enter your trading and place a long once the perfect time appears, and I think that will be when we see a retest of the 43 or $42,500 level. That are my key positions where I would like to open a long position. So Eric, you are seeing that, can we take a look at ADA? So yeah, for sure we can take a look at ADA, and let's take a look at ADA over here. So thank you very much for still watching the live stream, Sir Crypto Rover, and as well, let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano, I opened the Cardano compared to US dollar chart on the 4-hourly time frame, and I would like to start by actually taking a look at these levels of support and resistance. So if what we're seeing over here is that Cardano actually went all the way up above the orange box that I've drawn previously, and I think that is something you would like to take into consideration, because this orange box was a major level of resistance for Cardano once it broke below it previously. And I think this is something very important, because we saw right now that Cardano actually was able to spike and was for a small period of time on top of this orange box. And I know I do have quite a lot of lines over here of support and resistance. I do agree this is not the best way, and that is why I will be removing some of those. So currently Cardano is down just a few percent from its price action towards the upside. You could see over here Cardano had a major, is right now down approximately 8 to do with the Bitcoin price action that's also towards the downside. And where is Cardano right now heading towards, and is it the right time to accumulate Cardano? That is a question I would like to answer by actually removing my lines and placing as well a Fibonacci retracement. So I will be removing only just this one as well, and this one over here. I will be leaving the orange box just so we could take a look at previous data that shows us that above the orange box is a major level of support. So that would be something really great to see if Cardano is able to hold strong above the orange box, on top of it at $1.81. But unfortunately we are right now already 7 cents or 8 cents below that price level. So over here we're seeing the price action, and as I told you, I would like to place a Fibonacci retracement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select a swing low towards swing high and see where we are currently at. What you can see is that if we take a look at the current price of Cardano, we are seeing that Cardano is right now heading towards the 0.236 level of Fibonacci, and I think this is something really amazing. So because I think this will be the level where we will be seeing Cardano find support on top of for the upcoming days, before heading even further and actually retesting once again this level of resistance at $1.80 level, and perhaps finding support on top of it. So I think that is something very important. As well, I wanted to thank Shadarha, sorry for my pronunciation, I'm not very good at names, for subscribing to this channel, and I do really appreciate it. And if you're liking the content so far, do not forget to subscribe as well. So my personal opinion is that right now we are currently seeing Cardano over here at the $1.73 level. I personally think that we will be seeing a retest, or actually a test of this level of Fibonacci at 0.236. And as well, I would like to take a look at the EMA ribbon that I've got over here on the 4-hourly time frame. What you could see over here is that the EMA ribbon actually supported Cardano several times already, and as well is currently heading towards the 0.236 level of Fibonacci as well, and I think that is something you would like to take into consideration right over here, because as you can see previously, the EMA ribbon served for a major level of support already on the Cardano price action, and that is something I think will happen once again if Cardano is heading towards the 0.236 level. I think personally that the EMA ribbon will also serve as a major level of support over there. So that is something I think very important to take a look at. And what I want to take a look at as well is the RSI, because I think it is very important to just take a look at all possible indicators to see what we could be seeing in the upcoming hours. So you can see immediately that we were overextended on the price action of Cardano, and that is for sure also something that was very likely to occur, that the price action went towards the downside, and that is actually exactly what happened. That is why we saw this 8% drop because Cardano was actually overbought, and right now we are seeing that it re-entered the purple area on the RSI, and I think this is very important just to have a healthy RSI. And actually I think personally this is also very good to see, because once the RSI drops even further down below, it finds support on top and maybe accumulates for a couple of hours on top of the 0.236 level of Fibonacci at $1.68, I think that for sure will mean that the RSI will be once again in the center of the purple area, giving it enough space to once again find enough strength to pump towards the upside and breaking once again towards the oversold area. So I think the RSI is looking very good right now, especially if we head towards the 0.236 level of Fibonacci. I think the RSI will look even better at that point in time. And if we take a look at the MACD as well, what we're seeing over here is that we're seeing a MACD crossover on the 4-hourly time frame, and this is, I think, very important, especially because this means that we will see a major momentum towards the downside. Well, it doesn't need to be major, but we will see momentum towards the downside getting created, and this is also confirming my theory that we will be heading towards the 0.236 level at $1.68. Sorry, but what I want to say is something very important. During this uptrend, or this move towards the upside of Cardano, we saw several candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, a doji candle, 5, 6, so almost 7 green candles in a row. And during this period of time, we did not see any type of accumulation or any type of sideways trading. This could potentially mean that we will be heading towards the 0.382, the golden pocket entry. I'm not saying this will occur, but due to the fact that we are seeing a crossover on the MACD, it could be possibly heading towards the 0.382. I'm not saying it will occur. I'm personally not actually confident this will occur. I'm personally I think it will be more likely that we will find support on top of the 0.236 level of Fibonacci, and as well on top of the EMA ribbon, as I showed you previously. But to make an even better analysis for you all, I will enable the daily time frame, and I will take a look at the moving averages as well. So the moving averages are actually below us, far below us right now. I will be removing the Fibonacci for this moment, and what you're seeing over here is that we are actually far above the moving averages, and it is quite healthy for Cardano to head back down. I don't think we will be heading even further down below the orange box. You could also see that the lower part of the orange box is a little bit above the golden pocket entry. The golden pocket entry, what I previously showed you, was at $1.55, and the lowest part of the orange box is at $1.59, and that is for sure, I think, a level of key support for Cardano for the upcoming hours, especially if we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame. You would see that that is a key support as well. The moving averages are right now telling me that there is enough support on lower price levels, but I personally think that we won't be heading towards those levels. So I think personally that the moving averages right now are not as significant as other indicators that we saw previously. So that is my opinion right now on Cardano compared to the US dollar. And take a look at Cardano on the BTC chart. So for example, I already draw this very important line over here. And why is this line so utterly important? It is because this line was a previous upward sloping support line, and it served as a major levels of upward sloping of ascending resistance. And you saw that we were rejected by this line, and right now Cardano is actually once again above this ascending support. And I think it's very important right now to currently see the price action of Cardano actually or the strength compared to Bitcoin to actually find support on top of this white line ascending support, because this will mean that Cardano will be seeing eventually a major breakout towards the upside, perhaps creating a ascending triangle during the upcoming days, and that would be a very tradable move. So currently I'm thinking that Cardano will be retesting this level of support, this ascending support line. It broke above this ascending support line just yesterday and is right now actually creating the very first candle above this ascending support. And I think that is for sure something very, very, very important. And yeah, of course, as well, a beautiful double bottom for Cardano on the Bitcoin chart, and that is something I think very, very important. The orange box is actually not created with the help of, just to answer a question that is asked in the chat, no, the orange box is actually created by major levels of support and resistance that we saw previously. You could see over here, this orange box I created is just my personal opinion on where we could be possibly see a major level of support and resistance. And it is especially just because we saw that Cardano traded several times on top of this level of support. You could see that it was supported over here. We broke below it for 2 days, but afterwards it was once again inside of the orange box, and Cardano just traded for quite a while in the orange box, meaning that that orange box level is a level that you would like to monitor very closely. So if we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame for Bitcoin, for Cardano compared to Bitcoin, you are seeing that after this major run up, breaking above this ascending resistance, we are able right now to trade above it, and we are actually able to find support on top of that orange box level. And I think that is something of utmost importance as well. If we enable, for example, as well the EMA ribbon, I will for sure show, yeah, I was not doubting at all that this would be serving as a level of support over here. And I think that is something very important and very interesting to take a look at, that this is also as well joining that ascending support where we're currently trading above. And I think for sure this level over here, this ascending line on the Cardano chart, will serve as a major level of support for sure. So yeah, this is what I personally think Cardano will be doing. I think personally we will be heading, as I said before, towards the 0.236 Fibonacci level on the US dollar chart. I showed you that before, but I will be heading back to just place it once more time, and I will be placing it right now just to show you where my target is for Cardano at this particular moment in time. So if we place the Fibonacci from swing low towards swing high, I could be measuring where we are currently possibly heading towards. And as I showed you before, my personal opinion is that we will be heading towards the $1.69 or $1.68 level, where we will be finding support on top of this Fibonacci level, not just due to the fact that it's this Fibonacci level of support, but also because the EMA ribbon is actually joining that level at that particular part. And otherwise, if this level won't be holding strong, we could be heading towards the golden pocket entry level at $1.56. But my personal opinion is that we will be holding strong on top of the orange box, finding support somewhere above the golden pocket entry. But for sure, it will be major levels of accumulation you do not want to miss out on. For the viewers who are currently watching, as I told you before as well, I wanted to discuss the the Plan B stock to flow model. And what I wanted to tell you is that I actually saw a video of Benjamin Cowen together with Plan B, that is actually the inventor of the stock to flow rate model, and I think you should watch this video. It's quite a long video, 1 hour and 30 minutes, but I think it's very interesting if you are invested in cryptocurrencies, and I think it's a must watch for everyone right now. And also, for the people who are watching and are interested in joining my Discord server, do not forget to use the link down below in the description to join the Discord server if you would like to, of course. It will be highly appreciated, and also you will be always up to date about what the market is going to do. So, for the people who are watching currently, what cryptocurrency would you like me to take a look at right now? Please place that down below in the comment section, and I would take a look at it as well. So, just to answer the crypto in 5 question, if I will be entering a long on Cardano on the $1.68 level, I personally will be entering a long position only if Cardano is actually able to find support on top of that level. So if Cardano accumulates for a while, perhaps 2 4-hourly candles after that, or no, I'm sorry, 2 hourly candles or 3 hourly candles, for sure I will be actually entering a long position, because I personally think that we will be heading once again towards the retest of the 0 Fibonacci level at $1.90, let's say, at this level over here. But if we head even further down, once we go towards the golden pocket entry, that is especially a major entry for a long position. I'm not saying that I will be waiting, but I will be adding even more to my long position if we will be heading further down towards the 0.382 golden pocket entry on the Cardano. So Clover Finance, let's take a look at Clover Finance. I must admit I've not heard of Clover Finance before. So Clover Finance is a rank 246 token for the people who haven't watched Clover Finance before. It has a market cap of 213 billion, and also it has, let's see, a trading volume during the past 24 hours of $287 million. So that is something I think is very good to know. Unfortunately, I do not know a lot about Clover Finance, so I can tell you if I am someone who would invest in Clover Finance, but let's take a look at the chart to see how it's currently performing. So let's take a look at CLV compared to the USD. So CLV compared to USD, but as well CLV compared to BTC. So over here we are seeing Clover Finance. Let's take a look at what we are seeing on the overall chart. So you are seeing over here that after this major spike, we saw a very wide W structure actually getting created, where it actually is right now ending. You are seeing this very beautiful, like sort of dull or like land shape on the pattern. You are seeing that lonely mountain in the middle, and you are right now seeing once again an uptrend forming itself. let's take a look a little bit more closely at what we are seeing. During the past, let's say on the 9th of August all the way until now, so during the past week, we have seen a major momentum towards the upside getting created with a 82% towards the upside move, or let's say 75 for the people who would like to be a little bit more careful. It's a 75% move towards the upside during the past 7 days. For sure, I think it's very interesting to see that much of a move towards the upside for a coin on the 250 position. And thank you very much for the lovely comments down below in the comment section. So thank you very much, guys. So the 75% move towards the upside, I think, is very incredible for this cryptocurrency right now. Right now we are at $1.75 on Coinbase. We saw previously on CoinMarketCap that we saw, if you took a look very carefully, you saw that it was $1.66, and that is also why I would like to take a look at actually the 1 hourly time frame. On the 1 hourly time frame, we have seen already a candle right now, and that, let's say, the last hourly candle has been a candle of already 6%, and that's quite a major move. And if we take a look at the past 3 hours, we have been up 20% almost, so that is for sure very incredible to take a look at. For the people who are right now wanting to purchase this, I would take a look at what we are seeing by enabling as well the EMA ribbon. So the EMA ribbon served as a major level of support over here, and I would like to give a shout out to Lucas Hoon, who is also watching the live stream right now, and I really appreciate you being here and joining us on this current live stream. So we saw previously we were able to break above the EMA ribbon, and since that period, Clover Finance has found a lot of resistance on top of a lot of support, very sorry for that, on top of the EMA ribbon. So personally, I think if we will see a move towards the downside getting created after this major spike, for sure we will be heading towards the EMA ribbon and perhaps finding support on top of it. I think what you would like to actually take into consideration is that it already spiked quite a lot during the past days, almost 75%, and that is something, of course, you do not want to miss out on. But what I think as well is something you do not want to join on a very late. So if you did invest a lot of time actually researching this project, and you are thinking this will be the next top 20 coin, for sure you have to invest and do your own due diligence. But right now I do not know enough about this project to actually tell you if I would invest after such a major spike in the price action. What I'm just saying is that you have to be careful, because it could probably be that we will see a major move towards the downside perhaps next week after this major run-up actually occurred. So it's at almost 80% up during the past 7 days, and that is for sure something very, very incredible. So what are the, on the 4 hourly time frame, what is the EMA ribbon telling us? We are seeing right over here that the EMA ribbon served as a level of support already twice over here on the 4 hourly time frame. But as well, what I think is very important is to take a look at the moving averages on the daily time frame. So if we take a look at moving averages on this particular cryptocurrency, if they happen to work, I think unfortunately they are not working, so we will stay at the 4 hourly time frame, and let's enable the MACD. So by enabling the MACD, I would like to see what the current momentum looks like. And yeah, what I already thought that was occurring right now is that we were seeing this major move towards the upside on the MACD actually getting started. You are seeing this over here, and you are seeing that the MACD is not anytime soon going to have a crossover, at least not in the next 10 hours or so. So for a small pump towards the upside, I think this will continue. You perhaps might see the test of $1 $1.85 or $1.90 if this continues at such a high rate. But I think you have to take into consideration that most of the times after a major pump towards the upside, you will also see a crossover occur and a slight momentum towards the downside getting created. And if we take a look at previous data, let's just take a look at this over here. You saw a major momentum towards the upside. Afterwards, you saw a crossover on the MACD, and you saw momentum towards the downside getting created for quite a long time. So what did this mean at that period of time? So let's take a look over here. You saw this major move, 55%. It's still not as big as what we're seeing currently, but this is a 55% move towards the upside. Afterwards, we saw that the move of 55% actually declined by 31%. So you actually right now could possibly be losing 30% or actually even more of what you invested, because if you are buying right now, your investment could decline by over 30%. That is just the only thing what I'm saying, that it is very possible that afterwards you will see a crossover and it will actually start going down, and that you will be losing because you bought at such an extreme high price, or not high price, but a high point on the chart. So that is something you would like to actually be very careful with. That is my opinion right now. Compared to Bitcoin, it has been doing quite well lately, as you can see. Unfortunately, the charts are not loading, and I think that's mostly because this is not a coin and that is very well known, and that's why the charts lots of the time do not work very good. But you can see that actually you are able right now to break above this major level where it traded below for quite a long time, and I think that is something very important. So my personal opinion is I personally would like to see a retest of this level of support, find support on top of it instead of breaking below it, because that would not mean very good news to me. But I think if you find support on top of it, that would be a perfect level of accumulation to see even a higher spike in the near future. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, you have to do your own due diligence, but I personally would not like to buy on this project right now. So I really hope you liked the comment I made on this cryptocurrency. I think I just broke the resistance. Let's take a look once again at the US dollar and where it's currently at. It broke, it did break a resistance level. You're right, it broke the resistance level at this point in time over here. You could see I will be drawing this level of resistance, and we are currently trading actually at $1.82, so it's actually trading right on top of this level of resistance. So it's for sure something very amazing to see. But for sure, my personal opinion is I don't know this token. If you invested your time and did actually the research, you might be able to make a better decision. But my personal opinion is that you might be seeing a spike towards the downside after this major uptrend during the past 7 days. Of course, I could be wrong, but I think you have to take that into consideration. And let's take a look at what other people are saying in the chat. So Marcus Sabon, how about Anchor Coin? So let's take a look at Anchor Coin for the people who are not actually aware or do not know Anchor. Anchor is, oh no, this is not the right one, sorry, it's this one. And Anchor Coin is actually a 102 placed coin. I know this token. I think it has performed very well. I know in the past it has a market cap of $706 million. Currently, you can see if you take a look at the all-time chart, you could see that it had a major spike in its price action. Afterwards, it went back down, and you could see over here that most of the it actually made a higher low, and right now it's trading once again a little bit higher. So let's take a look at Anchor on TradingView. So Anchor compared to the US dollar by Binance, and also Anchor BTC as well by Binance. So Anchor, let's start by taking a look at Anchor. Oh, I had Anchor on my list. I just forgot. Well, doesn't matter. Let's keep going. You could see over here, if we place a Fibonacci from swing high towards swing low, and I think this Fibonacci level is actually, this Fibonacci retracement is not well placed because the swing high is at this point in time over here. You could see that currently it has, but it's really, this does not make any sense to me. Let's place it actually from the beginning of the uptrend towards where it's at. So from swing low towards its swing high at this point in time over here. So yeah, this is more accurate to me. What you're seeing is that at 0.786, Anchor was able to find support. Afterwards, we saw a major breakout right now, and right now we've been accumulating on top of the 0.618 level of Fibonacci at approximately 0.087 cents. For sure, Anchor has a lot of potential to break out towards the upside. It has done that before. It has shown incredible results in terms of profit in the past. If you measure it like this, you could see that if you bought the beginning of this project all the way towards its all-time high, you had a 2,225% profit, and that is just something I think really amazes me, how much the profits can be in crypto. And each day I think just about why I actually do adore this cryptocurrency market and how it can actually be so profitable if you make the right choices. So that is something I really appreciate about crypto. So let's take a look at what we could be possibly be heading towards. Let's say you are buying this right now and you are waiting for a retest of the Fibonacci level of 0.618 to buy as cheap as possible. If we take a look at where the previous all-time high is, you still had a 140% profit move from now on. So I think this is for sure something you do not want to miss out on. I actually advise you, this is a project I think has a lot of potential for the near future, and I think it has a lot of potential right now actually as well to give you a profit in the short term, especially if Bitcoin stays still performs as good as it has been performing lately. I think it will be for sure something you don't wanna miss out on. And if you're liking this content so far, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. I would highly appreciate that as well. So we are right now on top of the 0.618 level of Fibonacci, as I showed you before, and what I'm going to enable is actually, I think, something very important, and thus that is the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame compared to the US dollar. You could see over here the EMA ribbon served as a major level of resistance. It actually served as a resistance for quite a long time. You could see over here that the EMA ribbon served as resistance. Anchor tried to break above it several times but got rejected every time once it tried to break above the EMA ribbon, and currently you are seeing a breakout above the EMA ribbon and actually getting supported by the EMA ribbon for the very first time after quite a long time. I think this is very important and also very interesting, because this means that this will be a potential move after this period of accumulation that is already going on for actually almost 12 days now, I think there will be a major move towards the upside getting created on the Anchor chart, and I think Anchor right now is looking very strong. Also, let's take a look at something I think is very interesting, because if we place a trend line, let's say from this point in time over here all the way down, you could see that Anchor actually broke this trend at this point in time at approximately the 30th of June. So after that point, Anchor was not actually going up. It retested this level of 0.786 that he tested before, where it finds support on, and after that point in time it was actually over. Anchor went straight up, and I think this is very interesting because Anchor had a month of accumulation, and after that period it went insanely towards the upside, or well, insane. It had a major spike, let's say it's that way, because it had a spike of almost 100%, and I think that is for sure a return that you would like to see. And this is actually very good to see, because I think now that we broke the trend, the new trend will be towards the upside. And to just give you a, let's say, a small type of possible move or possible levels of support, let's say that this is the second touch point, and that we will see eventually right now a move towards the upside, breaking above the 0.5 Fibonacci level towards the $11. Imagine if that occurred, then you would see actually a third level of support, and I think this is the trend line that you would like to keep in mind right now. And I think this is for sure something that is telling us that after this period of accumulation, we are going to see a major move towards the upside getting created. So what type of move are we going to see? Therefore, I will going to place a parallel channel. This parallel channel, I will be placing it from this to here, all the way to here, and measuring it by actually selecting the upper part of the parallel channel all the way towards the horizontal support line. So this move towards the upside is something that will be occurring once we break above this parallel channel, and I think this move will be looking something similar to this. If we just extend this channel a little bit, now it's not correct anymore, I'm very sorry for that. Now it's good. So if you take a look at this, for example, if we break out above the horizontal level of resistance, or ascending resistance if you would like to call it that, we would be breaking above the $10 level and seeing a major spike in the price action of approximately 12%. I think for sure this is something that could possibly occur in the next upcoming day, especially right now, because Anchor is actually finding support on top of this upward sloping level of support. And I think this is something you would like to keep in mind for the upcoming hours as well. Let's take a look once again at the EMA ribbon, and you are seeing that the EMA ribbon is actually supporting Anchor very strongly right now. It's actually breaking underneath it, but I think if Anchor holds strong on top of the upward sloping support, the EMA ribbon will eventually be able to give the support needed to Anchor to see a major pump towards the upside. If this does not occur and Anchor does not find support on top of this upward sloping support line, it could possibly head towards the downside. And I think what will most likely happen or occur in this scenario is that you would see Anchor once again finding support on top of previous resistance levels. That is the white line, the thin white line I just draw, and that would be at approximately well, let's say $0.086. But I personally think that won't occur. I think the $11 level is the next level Anchor is going to hit in the upcoming days. So therefore, I would like to take a look at the BTC chart, and what you're seeing over here is you saw this amazing parallel channel getting created a few let's say already months ago, and Right now we are over here. We are still below the previous levels of support, therefore I would like to place a small, let's say like this, yeah, that is perfect, and as well let's place it over here. So we are right now trading on top of previous resistance. You can see over here it got resisted for quite a while at this particular level compared to Bitcoin, and right now it's once again after this major run up finding support on top of this level over here. What I think is very important is that for the very first time after a long period of time, you are seeing a higher low getting created for the very first time in this run up, and I think that is something very important. So also for this chart I would like to draw a trend line, that what I would like to advise you to take into consideration for the upcoming days, that you would like to stay above this trend line, eventually creating a ascending triangle, as you can see, by actually trading all the way up, maybe, or I think that would be the best case scenario, getting rejected by this horizontal level of resistance, finding support once again on top of this ascending support line, once again retesting this horizontal level of resistance, eventually breaking above the horizontal level of resistance, finding support on top of it, and seeing a major spike towards the upside. So I would like to see this pattern play itself out, and I think personally this will be very, very important for the price action on the US dollar chart, to see actually Anchor find support, keep support on top of this level of support where it's currently being supported at, where it had previous support as well, but I think most importantly actually being able to find support on top of this ascending support line, especially because you can see that it had already 2 touch points in the past, and that is something I think very significant for the overall price action. So this is my price analysis on Anchor, and if you liked it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video. So thank you very much all for watching the live stream. I've seen a lot of people that are still asking a few questions. Let's take a look at what we are seeing over here. Shredder R. What's exactly SFP? Is it when it bounces when major points or something else? And thanks for answering my question. And Coffee Cup. Coffee Cup was a little bit earlier, I see. Kindly, what is the next entry for Doge? I'm looking for long entry, please. So Dogecoin, let's take a look at Dogecoin. I must admit I'm not a major fan of Dogecoin, but I've seen Dogecoin perform very well lately, and that is something I am just very pumped about, because I'm not a fan, but that doesn't mean that I do not appreciate Dogecoin and that I do not hold Dogecoin. Of course I hold Dogecoin. Why shouldn't you? Dogecoin is just the hype that everyone's talking about, and the cryptocurrency that I think is second most well-known cryptocurrency for people who are not invested in crypto. So let's take a look at what we're currently seeing. We are seeing that Dogecoin was able to re-enter the orange box where it was previously finding support on top over here. It found support. It also found support on top of the orange box several times at this part over here, and you could see that the orange box actually served as a major level of resistance and support at this part in time, and right now we are re-entering the orange box. I think that is something very good to see, because for Dogecoin that means that perhaps we might see a major move towards the upside getting created if it holds strong in these key levels. So what is my personal opinion on what is the best long position for Dogecoin for the upcoming hours? Therefore, I would like to take a look at the EMA ribbon. The EMA ribbon is right now, as you can see, supporting Dogecoin over here while it's actually dropping in price. And I think it's very simple to actually say what the perfect long position entry is going to be. Of course, you have to take into consideration that the price of Bitcoin will influence the price action of Dogecoin as well. So if Bitcoin goes up or down, Dogecoin will go up and down as well. But due to the fact that I think Bitcoin will be finding support anywhere in between $42,500 and $43,000, I think perhaps Dogecoin might be heading towards these levels over here at approximately 0.2475. So my entry position for Doge would be somewhere over here. But to make that a little bit more clearer, I will be placing this Fibonacci from swing low towards swing high to take a look where we're currently at. So currently we are trading, sorry for that, at the 0.236 level of Fibonacci at approximately 0.25 cents, almost 26. Dogecoin is holding strong, but is still breaking underneath this level, and I think, as I told you before, that this $24 level would be a perfect entry for Dogecoin, and right now the Fibonacci is actually confirming that to me. Why is this actually confirming that Dogecoin entry at 0.24 is the perfect entry point? It's also because it's the golden pocket entry, and the golden pocket entry, I think it's a major level of support in the Fibonacci where you are able to actually take the risk to enter a long position, especially because Bitcoin is going to head a little bit further down. I think personally that it is very likely that we will see Dogecoin break below the 0.236 Fibonacci level and head towards the 0.382 level. So I think this level over here, if you're seeing this coffee cup, this is, I think, the major level that you would like to take into consideration and that you would like to monitor closely to enter a long position on Dogecoin. So the 0.2434 level is the level I personally would advise to use in the future once you would like to enter a position for Dogecoin for the next 24 hours. Let's take some other indicators into consideration, because that might change our perspective. So what are we seeing over here? What you're seeing over here, I think, is something quite bearish for the overall perspective. If you take a look at this here, I will place an arrow, is you are seeing this higher high getting created, but you are seeing this lower high on the RSI. This is for sure a bearish divergence, and that could possibly mean that we won't be holding strong at this level over here, and that we'll be heading towards the 0.382 level for sure. So the RSI is actually telling me that you do not want to enter your long position over here. You do want to wait to see if Dogecoin will be able to find support on top of the Fibonacci level at 0.382. So the RSI is telling me this in particular, and I think this is something you would like to take into consideration as well. Let's take a look at the MACD. But before doing so, I will be removing this and entering the MACD. So over here as well, the MACD is actually showing, or actually confirming, the downtrend. The MACD is showing us right here a crossover of the indicator, and we are seeing downward momentum getting created. That will for sure mean that Dogecoin won't be holding strong at this level. Perhaps it might for the next candle, but afterwards we will see more candles towards the downside, and this level over here at 0.382 Fibonacci, the golden pocket entry, is for sure something you would like to monitor closely. So that was my opinion on Dogecoin. So thank you once again very much for watching this live stream. Unfortunately, I will have to leave right now, but I do appreciate all of you watching my live stream. Lastly, I would like to show you the things that we discussed today. During the live stream, we discussed the Bitcoin's price action. We discussed the ascending channel of Bitcoin, where it could be possibly heading towards the levels of 42,500 or 43,000 US dollar, where it's currently trading at approximately 45k. And also where I started this video with, this major news article about Bitcoin and investing on Cointelegraph. I think it's very interesting, and you should read this as well. I think it's a very interesting article, and for sure it's worth your time. And lastly, for the people who are still watching, do not forget to join our Discord server. It will be highly appreciated. And if you would like to trade, do not forget to use the links down below in the description. You will be supporting the channel by doing so. So once again, thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day. So bye bye.